Hello students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school, children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
Children, let us start our lesson for today. This is a lesson, children, in standard second, and subject is English. Like I always teach you English when we meet, isn't it? And the topic that we have for today is lesson number 1.9 from your English textbook, and the name of the lesson is writing skills. Now children, when we started learning about the speaking skills, during the first lesson that we did about speaking skills, I explained to you that when you have to learn a language, whether it is English or whether it is any other language, you have to learn 4 skills in the language. Okay, so let us just revise it a little bit before we move on. So we discussed that in any language learning there are 4 skills. So which is the first skill which you use in order to learn a language? You listen to the language and you learn it, isn't it? So when we were young, when we were very small children, our mother used to speak to us in our mother tongue. So we used to listen to our mother and we used to learn the language, and slowly after listening to our mothers, we started speaking. Okay, so that time we did not know anything else about the language. We have just spoken what we have listened. So listening was one skill, speaking was the next skill. Now about speaking, we have done a few lessons also this year. Then after you learn to speak, I told you, slowly you learn how to read the language. So you can see here this cartoon, he is reading the words which are written in the book. And finally, after you learn to speak well, after you learn to listen well, after you learn to read well, then we have the little difficult skill in this language or in any language, and that is writing. Okay, so slowly we learn a language. First we learn to listen, then we learn to speak, then we learn to read, and finally we learn to write. Now we have done some lessons on speaking, we have done a few lessons on reading also. So now come on, today let us do a lesson based on the writing skill in the English language. Okay, so we will call it as writing. So today we are going to learn how to write some sentences. So let us see what all we have learned to write in English till now. So when you joined school, children, okay, when you joined school, when you joined junior KG or when you joined senior KG, slowly you started to write, isn't it? So in the beginning, we learned how to write the standing lines, the sleeping lines, etc. Afterwards, we learned to write the letters of the alphabet. So all of us started learning English by writing A, B, C, D. Okay, so what did we learn to write in the beginning? We wrote letters of the alphabet. Our teacher, our mummy, they taught us how to write A, B, C, D, how to write letters of the alphabet. And then after we learned how to write the letters of the alphabet, slowly we moved on and we started writing words. Okay, so what did we do? We joined the letters and then we started writing words. So can you see how many words are written? Try to read them. Okay, so we started learning how to write the words. After we learned how to write the words, we started writing many words together. And we started making a sentence. And you can see, after we write each sentence, what do? We put a full stop. Can you see there? There, the full stop. Okay, so after learning to write words, we learned how to write sentences. Alright, so we joined various words in order to make sentences. So after sentences, then what did we do? We started writing paragraphs. See, we joined various sentences to write paragraphs. But remember children, paragraphs are made by putting different sentences together. And there is always full stop between the two sentences in a paragraph. So let us see where there are full stops here. Yes, here there is one sentence. Okay, after that the second sentence starts with as and it ends here. Then the next sentence starts with smokers and it ends here. Then the next sentence starts with this and it ends here. After companies, companies, and then we have the last sentence which starts with further and it ends here with health. So you saw how we started by learning to write the standing lines and sleeping lines, and then we learned the letters of the alphabet, and from there we went on to write words and sentences and paragraphs. And using these paragraphs, children, we write letters. Okay, so we join paragraphs and we write letters, and we also write compositions by joining the paragraphs. So now do you have an idea about what all things we need to know if you know writing? So you need to know to write the alphabet, the word, sentences, paragraphs, etc. So in today's lesson, children, we are going to learn a writing skill. That is, we are going to learn how to write a composition. Okay, now the compositions can be of different types. Okay, some people write big compositions, big difficult words also they use. But now we are still in the second standard, isn't it? And we are still learning how to write. So we are going to do a very simple composition today. So let us look at a textbook now. Let us take a look at the page in the textbook and see what we are going to do today. So like I told you, we will write a composition today. Okay, and this composition will be a very easy one for us because we are still small, isn't it? So what is this composition called? This composition is called as a picture composition. So now just now I told you that we write compositions using paragraphs and sentences. Then what is this picture composition, children? Let us see. So picture composition is a composition in which you describe a picture with meaningful sentences. Okay, so you use sentences in order to describe a picture which is given to you. Alright, so now we will be taking examples from our textbooks only. In the textbook they have two beautiful and simple and easy pictures. So let us practice our writing skill using these two pictures or images from your textbook. So let us go to the first image in your textbook. So let us read this picture and let us write about this particular picture. So the first thing that you will do is you have to observe the picture carefully. If you want to write about it, children, you will have to observe the picture carefully. So come on, I will give you around 30 seconds. You can observe the picture carefully. If you have your textbook, you can open your textbook and observe the picture from there. Or else you can even look at the picture here which is given on the screen. Okay, so come on, observe this picture and then let us see what we can write about it. Okay, so you can also pause the video and observe this picture. So what can you see here? There are people also, there are trees also, and and there are children also playing there. There are birds also. So now you know what you can write. You can write about the trees, you can write about the birds, you can write about the children. Okay, but before that you will have to write, what is this place? So what place are you going to talk about? So is this like a school? No. So is this someone's house? No. So what is this, children? So this is a big garden. So what will be your first sentence when you're writing about a picture? You will write what that place is or what you can see on that page. Okay, so what is there here? There is a big garden here. After that, let us see what our next sentence can be. So there are so many children that you can see here. Can you see? There are so many children here. Alright, so there are around, I can say 7 or 8 children here. So that means we can write a sentence about these children. So come on, let's write. Many children are playing in the garden. So you need not write 5 children or 6 children. You can just say many children are playing in the garden. Okay, now they are playing. 2 children are playing with each other. 1 child is playing on the swing. 1 more child is, I think, drawing something. Now there are some more children who are playing something else. They are playing another game. So do you know what the name of this game is? I think it is called Lupa Chupi in Hindi. Okay. Lapan Dav, I think, in Marathi. So in English, what will you call this game, children? We will call this game as hide and seek. So some children are playing hide and seek. Okay, if your teacher tells you to write more sentences, you can also write 1 child is playing on the swing, 1 child is drawing something. Okay, but here we have to write only 5 sentences. So we will write about these children. So we have written, some children are playing hide and seek. Okay, then let us see what else we can see in this picture. Yes, you can see some big trees. So what sentence can you write about trees, children? Think, what can you write about trees? So yes, you can write, there are many trees in the garden. Okay, if you have to write more sentences, you can also write, there is green grass in the garden. Alright, so here there are many trees in the garden. And finally, we have to write 1 more sentence here. So is there something which we have missed out? I think we forgot to look at these tiny beautiful birds. So come on, why not write 1 sentence about the birds also? So I think we should write, there are birds sitting on the tree. So see how nicely we read this picture and we wrote 5 sentences on this picture. We wrote about all those things that we can see in the picture. So children, what is very important for us when we have to read a picture and write about it? We have to observe the picture very carefully. You have to look carefully at the picture. Only then you will be able to write about it. Okay, so this was the picture reading exercise 1 from your textbook. Now, like I told you, there is 1 more beautiful picture to read in your textbook. So come on, let's go to that picture also. Here we have 1 more picture in your textbook. And let us read this picture also and write about it. So in this picture, about this picture, 2 sentences are already given to you in your textbook. So we will write those 2 sentences also, and then we will write a few sentences of our own. So like in the previous picture, children, let me give you some time to observe this picture carefully. I told you now the most important thing if you want to read pictures is that you should observe them very carefully. So come on, observe this picture very carefully and let us see what all things you can see here. So you can pause your video for around 30 seconds and you can observe this picture. Okay, so have you observed the picture? So can we write something about it now? So let us start by writing the sentences which is already given in the textbook. So this person who's standing here, his name is Bhaurao. And who is Bhaurao? Bhaurao is a farmer. Okay, so our friend Bhaurao over here, he is a farmer. So what do you think, children? What do farmers do? They grow crops for us, isn't it? The rice, the bhakri, the chapatis, the puris which you eat, it is all made up of rice or wheat. Okay, and this rice and wheat etc. are grown by the farmers. So where do farmers grow these crops? Yes, farmers grow these crops on a farm. So our friend here, Bhaurao, he has a small farm. Okay, so Bhaurao is a farmer. He has a small farm. Now these two sentences have been given to you in the textbook. Let us look at some other sentences now. Now we will observe what else is there. So you can see many people on the farm. You can see Bhaurao, of course. Along with him there is a lady also on the farm. So this lady has to be Bhaurao's wife. Okay, and we can also see a little girl there doing some kind of work. So it means that Bhaurao, not only he himself, but his family also works on the farm. So can we write a sentence about that? Yes, let's write. Bhaurao and his family work on the farm. Okay, so all these people, Bhaurao, his wife, his daughter, all of them together, they work on the farm. Now next paragraph, next line, I think you can write about the animals here. So can you see some animals on the farm, children? Yes, I can see a bullock and I can also see two goats. So come on, let's write a sentence about these animals. So let us write, there are animals on the farm too. Okay, so we have written about Bhaurao's farm. We have written that he is a farmer, he has a small farm and he and his family work on the farm and there are animals on the farm too. Finally, let us also write something about this little girl who is your age, isn't it? So let's write what she is doing. So what do you think she is doing? Yes, she's feeding the goat. Okay. Now some of you live in cities, some of you live in villages. Now if you are living in cities, then we do not get an opportunity or a chance to feed animals, etc. Okay, but children who live in villages, I'm sure they must be enjoying feeding these goats, cows, etc. So come on, let's write a sentence about this little girl. What is she doing? So she is feeding the goat. So what will we write? We will write the girl is feeding the goat. You can also write many other sentences, children. You can write that there are crops in the field. Okay, and then you can see many implements also in the field which they use for farming, and there is a small compound around the field. Okay, so you can write as many sentences as you want. You can also write the lady is wearing a red sari. Bhaurao is wearing dhoti and kurta. The girl is wearing a blue skirt and white top. So if you want to write sentences, you need to just observe the picture and you can write one sentence for each thing that you see. So this is how, children, you read a picture and you write about it. So we have seen two pictures from the textbook. Now let us see one more picture, but then I will not be doing this picture reading for you or this picture composition for you. This will be your assignment. So read this picture and write about this picture. So first thing, we have seen one picture about a farm. Then we saw a picture about a garden. So now this is a picture about, yes, very good. It is a picture about a school. So think what you can write about this picture. You should write at least 5 small sentences. Okay, and after you write the sentences, you can read it out and show it to your mother or to your papa or to your didi or your bhaiya. Alright, children, so this lesson we talked about one more skill in English. We have already learned lessons based on the speaking skill and the reading skill. So this was a nice and beautiful lesson about the writing skill.
So children, wasn't that a wonderful video? And did you enjoy watching it? So if you want to watch more such videos in future, then please like this video and also subscribe to our channel, the MCGM Portal for Education, and also hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video here. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet again soon.